Chappelle Show, Chappelle Show, Chappelle Show, Chappelle Show, Chappelle Show.
Let's start the show.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about, you know, when you just say that shit and then you realize it's from Chappelle's show and then you just have to sing it the instant you go live to an audience. How's everyone doing tonight?
How's everyone out there in Bedrock? We're like the Jetsons and they're like the Flintstones.
Let's fly our rocket packs down and see how the other half is living.
Yeah, wave. They know that, right? Waving? Yeah, they have cars.
Yeah, no, they're doing fine. They're doing fine with all the technology we've given them.
Yeah, they have wristwatches. It doesn't even breathe.
Right. They're mining the rare minerals that we use for our computers, by the way. I love that they didn't get the song. They've got the logo and the characters. They do not have the Flintstones theme song.
No. But they do have the color. We were talking about how like there were games that looked just like a cartoon, like the Simpsons arcade game.
Yes.
And like this, you know, is a little bit crundical, but it still looks just like a cartoon.
Yeah,
like,
I don't
compared to the regular Game Boy with like 4 colors.
Yeah, no, this looks pretty good. I will say, whoever did that hand, I hope they were fired.
Yeah, that was the part I was thinking was crundical.
Incredibly so. This looks like Burger Time.
It is Burger Time.
It's a clone of Burger Time?
It's called Flintstones Burger Time.
Was it developed by the Burger Time people?
I guess we'll see when I die and get game over, which is soon.
Arg, you know, Fred Flintstone's famous line.
Yeah.
Arg. They couldn't get Yabba Dabba Doo.
No. They had to adapt the theme.
Why is the alien one of the villains? Continue, no.
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say who made it.
No one's taking credit for this one.
The fact that they wouldn't have used the term Burger Time if they were just shamelessly stealing it. Conspiracy Entertainment? Oh, I see. The code is copyright conspiracy. So they took the code and made it bad.
But the animation, I mean, look at that swing.
Oh yeah, that's great.
They really put all the effort into that.
Yeah, I mean, the real Burger Time had like quite a few more columns than this. There's only 2 columns in this.
Well, that's everything on Game Boy Advance. Everything, or I guess this was Game Boy Color, so it's even smaller. Mm-hmm. Everything was like really little. There were less pixels.
Right. An arcade had
By
more
Kazoo.
capabilities than this. It looks good. Why? I don't get why.
I'm out of bat swings.
Like, the Great Kazoo is just mildly antagonizing to Fred. He's not a villain.
He's not a villain. He would never attack you.
No. And you'd never kick his ass either.
Who's that? Is that one of Top Cat's friends? Oh, it's a dinosaur.
Dinosaurs don't.
Damn it. He shouldn't be able to kill me there. All right, I'm already done.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we got to see that. So we're emulating Game Boy games on the Wii tonight. Oh yeah. I love, like, that is so beautifully 1998.
Yeah.
Like, that is what it feels like to crave something. There he is. Real sexy, just like you wanted, boss. Tennessee Tuxedo Burger Time. That's not a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. That's J Ward? J Ward. Yes? No?
No, it's not him either. I forget who makes Tennessee Tuxedo already.
Is it the guy, is it the studio that made Courageous Cat? No.
Help.
Help.
Well, all I know is that like Howard Stern's dad worked on that show because like he was voiced by
Don Adams.
By Don Adams, and these were like people who worked in the radio, and like that was like what they knew, like radio, and like you know, there were shows on the radio similar to what you would see on TV. And
I haven't seen Tennessee Tuxedo in a long time, but like I'm remembering like you could basically listen to that like a podcast, right?
I mean, it's like about as good as like Rocky and Bull. I think it's better actually than Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Oh my God.
Well, because Rocky
you're already on a hill tonight.
I love Tennessee Tuxedo. I like it. It's good. It's like, you know, you have Tennessee. He's like this penguin that's like, I will not fail, and he always fails. And
his sidekick Chumley is not bright.
No, he's like, what are we gonna do now?
Yeah, he's agreeable. so as far as Tennessee knows, like he is the smartest one in the room.
Yeah, but he just believes in himself. He's not smart.
No.
But every episode follows the formula where he's like, I've got it. We'll do this. We'll drill for oil or something. And it's like, duh, but how do we do that, Tennessee? So they talk to Mr. Whoopi, who's a human, and he like tells them it's like an educational segment.
Because they're just animals in the zoo. They don't know anything.
Yeah, they live in a zoo, and there's like a zoo warden that yells at them.
They're in prison. They have no possessions.
They're in prison, but they can leave, sort of. Like they sometimes get out of there.
Yeah, I feel like that was a pretty popular mid-century trope. That Sammy the Seal, these children's books, where he's just like, I'm gonna go leave the zoo and go hang out in school today. All right, Sammy, says the zookeeper. Come on back later for dinner. Like the zookeepers are so confident that these animals cannot survive that they just let them leave. Oh man, he just dies. He's ready for death.
Little walking around guy.
Oh, he's
ready
so
for death.
He's so cute.
Yeah, he's a Liz.
Yeah, no, he's like, I get why people love the Gex gecko. Is his name Gex?
I guess. I would assume so. I think it's safe to think that he's Gex.
He's just the perfect amount of humanoid and animal.
Yeah.
Just like really walks that line.
Oh yeah.
And when I say likes, you know what I mean. I get why people like this guy.
Cause he's cool. He wears shades.
Yeah. Yeah, he's cool.
Well,
absolutely.
I mean, so was Joe Camel. He looks just like that.
Joe Camel was cool, and they banned him.
Yeah, he got canceled.
He got canceled. I used to look at Joe Camel illustrations and like study them, you know, because they looked insane to me.
They were insane.
Just like you know, exhaustively illustrated, anatomically perfect, and rendered more than you'd ever seen. But that was the era of that, right? Like No Fear folders and binder covers. I would study those drawings too. I had no desire to be an illustrator and draw like that, but that was so fascinating to me. And then I guess they decided the camel wasn't good for us, and
yeah, the camel was banned. Just like Fred Flintstone was banned.
That's right. Fred was smoking Lucky Strikes too. Him and Wilma are just lighting up together.
Yeah, they were Winstons.
Oh, Winstons, I see.
Winstons taste good, like a cigarette should.
What other cartoon characters hawked cigarettes?
I don't know about cigarettes, but Bugs Bunny did all kinds of shit. He did so many different products like Tag and Kool-Aid and like cereal.
Did the animation in that look good though?
Absolutely not.
No. I'm kind of imagining it Like,
no, it almost happened again.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm imagining some other studio did the animation for the Bugs Bunny cartoons.
It looked pretty bad when he was doing the Kool-Aid ads.
Was that like a tired sounding Mel Blanc?
Oh yeah. The tiredest Mel Blanc.
Oh man, when Mel Blanc was slowing down in those mid-century Looney Tunes cartoons.
Kool-Aid's cool. I'm Bugs Bunny.
Right, they were like, they used to speed his voice up, right?
Yes.
And like later on, it seemed like they weren't doing that anymore.
They forgot they were supposed to do that. It's like all of them, like Daffy, Tweety, especially Tweety. He sounds horrible because he's like, I put it in. I did.
Yeah, no, just did not sound well anymore. Oh, I mean, you know, what were they supposed to do? When I'm being honest, I don't think there's any sound ever recorded that is as funny to me as the rubber band.
I know. That is so fucking funny. Like that's what all of his voices sounded like when they were really good.
Well, yeah, that's like a compilation of the best sounds he can make right there. If you want to like give somebody, like if all you could save was like 3 seconds of Mel Blanc, it would be that.
Yes.
What modern cartoon characters would they use for cigar ads if they still could? They'd be selling vapes, right?
Yeah.
Who would be selling vape cartridges?
Him.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, like video game characters for teens would be selling vape cartridges. Rick and Morty would be selling vapes, right?
I mean, what about?
I mean, they already are. Like, if you go to the boardwalk, they already are.
Yeah. I mean, they would probably just make up their own character. Like Joe Camel, for instance, would have his own games if they were allowed to use him.
Yeah.
Are they not allowed to make a game about him? I mean, I don't know what kind of game that would
Joe
be.
Joe Camel? I mean, I'm imagining that like the company still owns that character.
I guess so.
And they're still prohibited from doing anything with it.
Yeah. But like they couldn't just make like a Game Boy Color game. Like you know how like McDonald's had like they had like Grimace and Birdie and Ronald for years.
Yes.
And like then they just like got rid of them. But then in like 2023 or something, they made like a Grimace Game Boy Color game.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't get it. I forgot. But
they made a new Grimace game.
Yeah, they made a Grimace game, and they're bringing back Shantae as a Game Boy Advance game that never got released.
Nintendo is?
Nintendo doesn't make Shantae. Okay. That's way forward.
But the studio that made Shantae is bringing it back.
Yeah,
they're releasing an old game that was never released.
Yeah, Shantae 2 for Game Boy Advance.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, right. I think that's cool.
Yeah, we'll play Shantae tonight. I mean, how often does that happen?
What is this? A cooler full of blood?
It looks like that. Yes. How often does that happen? I mean, I know they found an unfinished Duke Nukem game a few years ago, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the last time I think I've heard of like a really old unfinished game resurfacing and then being released. But I think that game was only released, you know, in an academic capacity. I don't think it was released as like a finished game.
Was it like a prototype for Duke Nukem Forever?
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's cool. Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, it was very unlikely, if I remember the story correctly, it was very, very unlikely that it would ever be unearthed. And the person who got their hands on it, I don't remember exactly how, they did not, like, they were part of a museum project, like one of the more well-funded museum projects that actually keeps a digital archive. It might have been the what's the what's the big museum in DC that I'm part of? The permanent collection of culturally significant works. Help. Oh my God, help.
I'm not telling you. I'm turning this off.
Nobody in the chat is telling me either. You're just gonna let me flail like this, all of you?
Speaking of Duke Nukem,
I keep thinking the Scandinavian. Oh my, yeah, the Scandinavian. That's what it's called. Let me finish my story. Anyway, he found it, and he was given this game, and he didn't actually have any way of running it, and it took reaching out to the hacking community to get the software that would even begin to unpack the files and run them. So it was thanks to the person whose lap this landed in, not even their expertise, but their knowing that that's what it would take, and then bringing it to that community. As far as I can remember, that is the reason that game actually, like, there is actually an existing build of that game. Now, I don't know if it really runs.
The fuck was that?
I don't know. I don't have enough information, I suppose. It's just very unusual that oh my God, what is the museum called? Oh my God. This is the last place on earth that I can be stupid. I swear, it is so freeing. It is so freeing to come on Twitch once a week and just not know a thing and admit it. Mutant Astronaut says, nice haircut to Joe. It's actually a hair grow. It was Joe shaved his head at the peak of miserable summer, like 2 weeks ago, and yeah, no, it's in a nice place right now. Can you keep it here? Is there a setting on the shaver that will just keep it there?
Oh, well, I don't use like an electric shaver.
Oh, you just went straight for the razor.
Yeah, I just stuck my head into like a lamprey
and burned it all off. The San Andreas? No. Look, I know that every last one of you on the internet, acting like you're smart all the time, you're looking up every other word you say. Every last one of you. Nobody is even judging me, even a little bit in the chat. Everyone is just holding their tongue and smiling. Or frowning, I don't know. I can't get it out of my head. No. Schenectady?
What was the point of what you were saying again?
Oh, I don't even know if this is the museum that Duke Nukem Forever ended up in. There is a digital collection in which this rare build of Duke Nukem actually ended up.
Cool.
This looks awesome.
You talk about the Smithsonian?
Yes, I'm talking about the Smithsonian.
Yeah, this game looks great.
My webcomic is archived in the Smithsonian. I don't know what that means, if I'm being honest. I know that it's awesome, but I've tried to examine the collection and I don't know how it works.
So you haven't been there?
No, I've never been to the Smithsonian.
I went with Artie because they had a coin exhibit that was going away, so it was the only time he was gonna get to see it.
It was going away? Where are they taking it?
I don't know. They must have spent all the coins.
They took it on the road.
But it was cool. We saw like a coin that was like the first coin. It was like a rock. It was like a gigantic rock with a hole in it.
The first coin. This looks so cool. Like, clearly, Game Boy Color is a lot more powerful than the Game Boy.
Yeah.
And these animations must have just looked so awesome on that tiny little backlit screen.
Well, the Game Boy Color wasn't backlit.
Oh. I guess not. The Game Boy Advance was backlit.
No.
No?
Well, the Game Boy Advance SP was backlit, but the first Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color and all the Game Boys were not.
I love Nintendo for just being so cheap. Like, for just having such cheap gear.
No, it's not about that. It's about the batteries. When they sold the SP, they had it with like a lithium ion battery, and I think you couldn't really do it before with the like, you know, double A's. I think it would just die too quickly.
I see. Well,
no.
I mean, people just sat in a well-lit place for so many years.
Yeah, I remember using the well, you had a Game Boy Color. I used the hand-me-down. I used the brick.
You used the brick. Yeah, I got a Game Boy Color and I played Pokemon on it.
Yeah.
Pokemon was like one of the early games that was like, it worked fine on a Game Boy, but if you put it in on a color one, it would be colorful.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, this looks so great. So this must be kind of a cult classic in people's minds, right?
Yeah, I mean, I love the music. I think this is so cool.
I mean, the animation is like really cartoony and fun. Just yeah, really enjoyable. It looks fun to play.
No. Well, these games do get a little frustrating. The world is gigantic and there's no like world map. You just go left and right, and like sometimes you go in the third dimension if it's like a newer game.
Yeah. Sorry, I've missed so much in the chat. I'm gonna try and catch up with what you guys are saying. Oh yeah, the Smithsonian, the museum with Duke Nukem, yes. Clockwork Aquario is a previously unreleased arcade game from the 90s that got released last year. That's cool. I love that. I mean, when does this happen? When somebody dies in their house filled with garbage and
and then somebody goes through all their garbage and is like, hey, I think we got something here.
Yeah.
Like Mozart when he was dying and writing Requiem, and they had to finish it because he died before finishing it.
Yeah, and Salieri, who was sitting right there with him writing it right at the end of his life, just as his wife came home and found that Mozart was taking his last breaths. Man, they really captured exactly what happened in that movie.
I mean, they didn't. Salieri didn't actually work on the Requiem. That was some other guy.
All right, that's one of those stories like Amadeus.
I'm already lost.
You're already lost?
I am lost.
Yeah.
I have no idea where I'm supposed to go.
I mean, do the villains regenerate?
I have. Oh, yeah. Okay. This
Oh
is
man,
it.
the color shift. That's so cool.
Yeah. Just like changing the palette. Is
Yeah,
so,
that's beautiful.
So fun looking.
How is that so rare that games actually do this? It looks wonderful.
Well, like, you always have that one guy who's like, yes, finally, the Game Boy is color. It's like, you know, the sicko in the Kelly comics, just waiting for the moment where he can make this.
Yes.
Because nobody else was thinking about making this. And that's why it's like, it takes like, you know, a million years for someone to realize they could do it and make it good on purpose with the existing technology.
This is extremely good on purpose.
Yeah, like, you know, this wasn't even Nintendo. They weren't even thinking like we got to do something to sell this Game Boy Color. This was way forward.
Right. They were just excited to be able to use the hardware.
Yeah, I guess so.
Shantae's story would finally be told. I may have spoken with your friend at the Smithsonian who does video game work. I would love to do so. I don't know if I spoke with her, but I think video game preservation is really cool, and it does seem like there are, you know, now that there are a lot of millennials in you know, government positions and curatorial positions. There's a lot more interest between them, and look, Xers too. They care too. There's people who are trying to preserve video games right now. I think that's cool. They're definitely in serious danger of disappearing faster than the films of the silent era. Help! Save them now. Let's see, what else? Have we ever been to Paley Center for Media in New York? No, I haven't. But I would like. Is that in, like, I'm gonna assume upstate New York, or is that in the city? Thanks for the sub, Dad Rock Enjoyer. Another sequel to Arcade Spartan X. What starter did we use in Pokemon? I don't even remember what the answer to that would be. Do you?
I remember.
What is it?
I got a Squirtle.
I think I did Squirtle too.
Really?
I think so. Now I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember what you picked. Do you remember your other Pokemon?
Like what I had?
Yeah.
I mean, I had them all. I had all 151 of them.
That's
Two?
true.
152? If you get Mew?
Well, Mew is 151,
Okay.
and then the only other thing is Missing No.
Oh yeah, I had Missing No. I fucked up my game for that one. Absolutely. Oh, look at this chaotic evil woman here.
Yeah.
Oh, she's so bad. She's like, welcome to my playroom. Get her, boys.
Welcome to my barbecue.
Speaking of preservation, everything is fucked. Well, that is the attitude we need, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I
just
think
play your fucking Game Boy. It still works.
it still works. I mean, that is the beauty about these games, right? They we're not playing on the original Game Boy hardware right now, but we are playing on a Wii, which is in itself very old.
Oh yeah, didn't you just get a Wii?
I did. I found a Wii at a thrift store last week so that I can release Joe's Wii back to him. We don't need it in our arsenal here. But people are still parting with these things. Last week I was talking about what a mad scramble people have been into to get their old cartridges from Mom's house. I guess the CD games are not really as coveted yet, but they will be too. Yeah, it is too bad you can't
Did I just
destroy
kill
cannonballs with
Risky?
your hair. You can't get her, huh? What is it you're trying to hit?
I'm not sure how to beat her.
Seems like you gotta throw some shit back and make her cannon explode back in her face. Can you go in that door?
Nah.
How are you supposed to do this?
I mean, if I kill those guys, maybe. Although it feels like, what's that? Is that something? No.
You watched a
Damn it.
video about Japanese flip phone games and that people are buying Japanese phones to try and preserve them. Right, because there's no other. Attack the barrel under the cannon, Andre Rizou suggests.
Too late.
Too late.
Well,
Right,
at least
those
we get to see Risky in all her glory.
Oh, yeah, great. That's so great that you can do like gigantic illustrations on the Game Boy Color. Very cool.
Let's play some more shit.
Yeah.
There's Wario's.
I think I watched you play all of Wario Land one time on the stream. It was really satisfying.
I don't
no,
think
you
I
played
beat
it. You killed Wario.
Oh, whoops. I want to see that.
Are these the games? These are not the games that Pizza Tower is inspired by. That's
Yeah,
Wario's
they are.
Woods? Oh, they are.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Let's see what Porkman, pig, lay pig. Yes, lay pig.
Mr. Pig.
Mr. Pig.
No.
Pig.
Mick Pig.
Mick Pig. Okay.
Mick Pig. I love that.
Oh, great music. Is it a little cropped?
Oh, yeah, it might be. I could fuck with the video settings a
Yeah,
little.
see if you can partial stretch.
Stretch to fit.
Yeah, that might do a better job. No, it's the same. Ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Now, are these the games? Oh, it's a little better.
Now it's like a square.
Yeah, at least.
But it
it's
still
the right-
seems cropped on the top and bottom.
Yeah. Can you just like lower the percentage a little bit?
Like this?
Yeah. Yeah, just take it down to like 95.
What, this or
Yeah,
this?
both of them. You got to take them both down.
Yeah,
So
that's
a
better.
little better. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. How's it look on the stream?
What was that?
The look on the stream?
Yeah, it looks fine. They can see. Didn't you say that the music in these games was made by somebody who normally does sound effects?
Yeah. Maybe not. I don't know who did the music for this game. I've never played this one, but I was talking about Wario Land 4 for Game Boy Advance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what was his name? I already forget his name, but yeah, like that guy would mostly do sound effects. So the music in that game is just like
Right.
sounds weird. It's like Wario making a noise like
Right. Weird sounds mixed into music. This looks good.
Yeah, it does. It's got a lot of colors. But it's still like 8-bit looking.
Yeah. Oh, I love the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a cutscene in Final Fantasy VI. Wario sleeping in his terrible home. His bed with spikes on top.
Nice.
Because he's a villain. Picture. Doing your morning exercises.
Yes, I'm jumping on top of my bed to injure myself.
He loves getting hurt. He loves being a bad boy in his room.
I love to bathe in spikes.
This might be Tataka, who did like Mario Paint music and Yoshi's Story and stuff like that.
This is very cute. This definitely has a Yoshi Mario Paint feel to it.
Ah.
Wario's house is just full of shit like this. He's hoarding. And he's got rats.
Yeah, he likes them though. He likes to beat them up.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like,
Oh, someone's in my house taking my coins so I can kill them.
So I can win.
I always win. If I don't win, they cheated.
Yeah. I feel like, not that I would have any 6-year-olds in my life as a frame of reference, but I feel like Wario is most representative of a little child.
yeah, like constantly trying to maximize everything. Like,
I get all the coins.
Yes.
Even though I have one.
Yeah, just really irrationally mad.
Coins.
Really, really mad if you don't get everything.
yeah.
No, he took some. Wah! Oh no, this is the worst day of my life. Wah, it's not fair.
That's so funny that he's so flat.
Yeah, I don't know how to get out of this. But it might be beneficial. Sometimes it's beneficial.
Right. You might want to be that way.
Oh, that bat is so cute. Oh, he saved me. But yeah, I totally know what you're talking about. Like, just like the way a 6-year-old's like gimme about everything.
Oh man. Oh man. My son has this friend who comes over, and the two of them always want me to be chasing them, and they invent rules so that like they can basically get on base whenever they want, and basically I have no chance of catching them. Like they'll I'll put a time limit on base, but they still have sufficient time to get away every time. Every time. And so one time I hid behind a corner and jumped out on one of them, on my son's friend. And I was like, gotcha. And she was so upset by that. She's like, it doesn't count if you tricked them. I was like, well, this is what you've driven me to. There's just, there's a full win. Full, no concessions victory.
I got double prizes. You get none. Yeah.
Yeah, like he wants to play Game Genie with you.
But he doesn't want you to use the Game Genie.
No, that's not fun.
Right. He basically wants to live in a world where he knows you're humoring him by losing all the time, and he doesn't care.
Yeah, like Wario, this isn't even your house. Those aren't even coins. They're rat droppings. This is an abandoned mansion.
He's like, I don't care. I want everything. No, don't take my droppings.
Right. You tell them they're droppings, and suddenly he's calling them my droppings.
Yes, there's nothing I love more than collecting shit. Stupid fucking commemorative coins with my face on it. It's all mine. You're jealous because...
Wait, what do they say in the commercial again? It's like, avoid future regret.
I avoided disappointment and future regret.
By buying the Donald Trump coin?
Yes.
Yeah, right. It's like wrestling where he writes it and is the wrestler. Yeah, no. His own kayfabe.
What is the point of these games? They're making me
Cute.
do something.
This is like proto WarioWare, right? Where it's just like, no time to figure it out. Just do it.
Oh, I see.
Oh, you have to figure out what number it is? Oh, man. I have a son who would love this.
Yeah.
But only
he wouldn't be able to get to this.
No, he would give me the controller, and then when I got to this, he would scream for me to hand it to him.
Well, you could just do a save state on this.
Yeah, you're right. I could just
it's
do
too
a
late.
save state. I'm not trying to throw my son under the bus. He's 6. He's 6. It's kind of delightful to see things that are so 6.
Well, there's some mini games in Wario games that he would probably love. Like there was WarioWare Touched for DS that like some of them weren't even like games. They were just like silly toys
Yes.
on a Nintendo DS.
Right, you just mess with it for like 3 seconds. So
Yeah.
like I was thinking about showing him WarioWare, but I think ultimately he'd be disappointed that he can't play a game more than once. He'd be like, I just figured it out and now it's gone.
Well, the game comes back when you're not expecting it.
Right,
Like,
and then you know what to
there's
look
a few
for.
different versions of every game.
Right. Yeah, no, I should try that one. I think it's just so funny. Like the images are so hilarious that, you know, you just kind of give yourself over to the chaos of it.
If this game wasn't difficult like this, I would say he would love being Wario.
Yes, totally. Right. Wario is extremely powerful.
He's powerful and he's like he'll take everything. There's so many delicious things to take. Like,
Hey, these coins.
it's like Wario, those are stale crackers.
I want them. Me. None for you. Me.
Like, yeah, he gets to be that in Untitled Goose Game. Sorry, Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah, titled Goose Game is like the sequel. But it's a bad sequel by like the publisher kicked out everybody from the studio and it's new people.
Now they're entitled.
Yeah. Entitled Goose Game. Right. Right. The publisher brought in all new people. They're not even Australian.
They're just fans who feel that they're entitled to work on this new game.
Right. It's a fan project, except
skip.
it's for sale. Yes, unrated Goose Game.
I thought that like the reason they never made a Waluigi game was that it would be unrated.
Yes. Yeah.
It would be too sick for Nintendo's brand.
Right. They're
Wario just sits on that line.
You're right. Waluigi is like people like Waluigi because we don't even know the first of it, you know?
Yeah.
Like we don't know how deep this rabbit hole goes. You think adventure games are good for kids because you can just keep trying a bunch of things without losing. It's true. I think those are my son's favorite games right now. I gave him Putt Putt Goes to the Moon one day and he just loved that. He felt so empowered by that game. Puzzles that he can actually solve. And he can sit there patiently and work it out. And that's hard when you're a little guy. And most games are not designed with a little guy mode in mind.
No, you need more little guy modes. Like even children mode from Tiny Toons was like that was like too hard for him still.
I play on children mode.
No!
Was Untitled Goose Game one of those titles that got orphaned when the Humble Bundle people got shuttered? I don't think so. I think they're still okay. The studio behind Untitled Goose Game. Somebody else can clarify if not, but of all the tears shed over studio closures, I don't remember anyone saying that the Goose Game people had bitten the dust. Yeah, no, they are an Australian company unless they've been bought. It happens.
And moved to a different continent.
Yes. House, yes. All right. Mutant Astronaut says there is a Waluigi game where you clip his toenails, but it's like an online game. I mean, I think that's perfect. That's just a taste of what it would be. What a full game of him would be like. I saw this week there was a Twitter thread that was getting passed around quite a bit. I forget the name of the author, but it was one of those long posts. Something that drives me crazy about Twitter is Shut up! Shut up! Okay, this is not a dig on this guy. I'm just talking about this in general. But like,
they're too long now.
Well,
they used to be short. That was the whole point of Twitter.
If you pay, you can go long. And the thing is, if you're a long guy, you always tweet too long now. So,
Long John Silver.
Yes, if you're a Long John, you tweet too long, whether you're starting a post or you're creating a reply. So even I was very interested in this thread because it's relevant to adventure games. But every time he replied to one of the many replies, his reply was always a little too long, and I'd have to like click something else to read more, and there'd be like 3 more words every time. So annoying. Yeah. Anyway,
is that a Twitter shit? Is that something that they did just to like piss us off?
That's like a Musk era long Twitter thing. It's like if you pay, you can tweet for long, and you can be checkmark, and you can be more annoying, and your posts get pushed to the top more easily. It's part of the reason that people are abandoning the ship.
Well, yeah,
as if they really are.
Well, yeah, like the other day I made a Blue Sky account, and the same day, like 500,000 like 2 million Brazilians.
2 million, right?
Yeah, 2 million bazillion Brazilians.
A bazillion Brazilians have been kicked off of Twitter.
Yeah, because they banned Twitter in Brazil.
Yes. So it was another mass exodus, not just of Brazilian Twitter users, but of people who are opposed to that, who will be back next week.
They'll be on a VPN in Brazil using Twitter. Yeah,
exactly. If you haven't already left, then you're here to stay. I got back on Twitter this week because I'm not gonna talk about this in too much detail, but I need to be on there to promote my game. I have long avoided what many people understand to be the necessary ritual of endlessly reminding people in a way that is hopefully not too annoying that your game is in production and that you would certainly like people to know about it before it comes out. And it is the only way. It is the only way. You must be constantly using these platforms. So I'm on there a little more, and I saw this thread about adventure games, basically saying that adventure games as a genre are disproportionately beholden to games that were made like 30 fucking years ago. Specifically the Sierra and LucasArts games of the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And that because of this, he was saying this was the reason. Because of this, adventure games are failing to modern adventure games are failing to succeed and create new titles in the canon that new games could then be compared to, instead of King's Quest and Monkey Island forever and ever and ever.
Yeah. There hasn't been, you know, like how I always say, like, there's like one I Love Lucy every decade or so.
Yes.
That's like one thing that is part of that canon, if you think of it like that, as like, this is the thing that reigned during this era.
Yes.
The one good on purpose adventure game, because you know only one really popular adventure game is going to exist at a time, right?
Yes. So then, you know, a lot of the discussion was people like essentially agreeing that adventure games are sort of languishing, and that, you know, they don't have a lot of success, and that this might have something to do with it, that we're too stuck in the past as developers.
Yeah.
Then there were people who were saying, I'm pretty sure this is a problem with games in general. Indie developers just struggle to get their games out there. You're noticing it because you're paying attention to adventure games, but every genre has excellent games being made every second that are completely buried.
Yeah.
And that's not exclusive to adventure games. Then you had people who said, well, you're clearly not paying attention because, and here's all the games that they listed, right? And they list a lot of adventure games that they've liked from the last few years that fit the description of a traditional adventure game that he's talking about. And then you had people who said, well, you're the one thinking about old games because adventure games have evolved. Games like Life is Strange are the next evolution of point-and-click adventure games. Games like Night in the Woods, like very successful games of the last decade, would be considered point-and-click adventure games. The genre has just changed, and you're the one who's sort of boxing it into this old idea of Monkey Island and King's Quest.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I wouldn't actually consider those games as like the new point and click. That's like saying the new Final Fantasies that have like real-time action are the new turn-based. Like,
I mean, people think that is the evolution of the genre.
Well, I mean, I did hear about a new turn-based game that looked interesting called like Expedition 33. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't heard of that.
You should check it out. It's like a French Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
Expedition 33, eh?
Yeah.
And is it getting hype?
It's turn-based. I mean, I've heard one person talk to me about it, saying that it looked cool.
I'm not going to turn this on because I'm sure a video is going to autoplay immediately.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they've got a lot of followers. They're building hype. Of course, people would say the same thing about me if they looked at my Twitter account. So maybe that doesn't say it all. I do think, you know, there's obviously a market for turn-based RPGs, but they are not the standard, and no AAA studio is going to develop one. They're developed exclusively as a throwback to another time.
Yeah.
Is the Coffin of Andy and Lele an adventure game? I think so. You're basically, there's no combat or anything, right? You're just exploring and collecting and talking.
Well,
yeah, I would say, yeah. No, you're right. You're right. That is the new canon game, the Coffin of Andy and Lele. The you know, the brother fucking genre.
Yeah.
Offshoot of the point and click genre.
Well, you know, like with Pizza Tower, you had like something that's like next in the canon of these games, right? Mm-hmm. So like That's like a weird thing to think about for the first time. Like the canon of Wario games.
Yeah.
It's not a genre. It's Wario.
No, but he
like,
made it a genre, right?
It is now that you've started to consider it one. And I feel like if you consider games like King's Quest as like very specifically different from those 3D games or like, you know, visual novels, then I feel like you see there's a little more to it. Like you want it like this. This is the original recipe.
Yes. You want the original recipe plus your point of view.
Yeah.
The question is, well, look, the question about whether there's a market for it, I think like, you know, like that's kind of irrelevant, right? Because none of us have the ability to predict every bit of marketing advice I have heard states plainly that you should not try and make a pixel platformer if you want your game to sell, right? And Pizza Tower completely goes against that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's just people over 30 playing Pizza Tower, right?
No, Pizza Tower is a meme.
Yeah. So, you know, I think, it's tricky with things like this because people always end up talking about it in terms of like, what can keep developers from quitting the industry, basically, you know, like, because it is almost impossible to make, like, almost no studio makes more than one game, right? Because they end up burning through money and time and passion and everything making one game that doesn't sell very well. And that's almost universally the experience of making games. So if you're making a game with the idea that you are going to need to justify as soon as possible the creation financially, as soon as possible, the creation of the game, then no, you can't take a risk and make something in a throwback genre that like mostly older people are interested in. That said, I did see another observation that I thought was intriguing today, which was that the market for video games is still expanding because the people who played video games as children, the first people who played video games as children, are still alive and are not even elderly yet. And the person who was talking about this was saying that like in a couple more decades, you're gonna have people in their 70s playing the shit out of video games, and it's never been that way before, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm certain that some of those retirement age people, those retirement age gamers, are going to be just as ravenous, if not more so, than kids. And they're gonna have more money.
I guess
maybe.
so. Like, you know, like being like a film critic and like having white hair is like, we don't really have that. We don't have, you know, we're starting to see white haired video game critics, but it did take a while before we grew as much as they grew.
They're gray beards right now, you know? Right? Like gray stubble.
You think the like peak of video games has not been reached?
No, because we have not even seen one full generation live out their entire lives playing video games.
Yeah.
So by the time the people who played video games in the 80s are seniors, then we will see the full potential audience of games. I mean, like, I'm imagining retirement homes that are just fucking full of video games, right?
I don't know. What if your arthritis makes it too painful to play video games?
Oh, there's accessibility options for you. Or maybe the accessibility options in games will improve when there's more old people playing them.
That's maybe, yeah. Old people demanding video game controllers.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it could be coming. Hello. No. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I did.
Yeah, like, I feel like this game, out of the three I played, like Gex, Shantae, and this is, I think, the best designed levels. Like, I'm still getting a little bit confused and lost, and like shit is like hitting me, but I feel like I'm not getting as frustrated. I think it's like
it's pretty elegant to me.
Yeah.
Have you ever played this game, Mike? Wario Land 2?
Yeah.
Haven't played 2, no.
Me neither. We had the Virtual Boy one, and that game was great. I want to play that again. If I can emulate Virtual Boy on the Wii, we should play that a little.
Man, that we don't still have. That's not buried in Mom's house, is it?
It is.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to see if we can get that because those cost a lot of money now, right?
Well, I mean, you know, maybe it's not there anymore. Maybe it wandered off.
It might have wandered off. Okay. Well, we'll see if we can because that would be really cool to actually play it on the hardware.
Oh, but how would we get that on the stream?
Well, we would film ourselves. Oh, right. Shit.
The Virtual Boy might have like an AV out. I don't know though. But like ours, only one of the eyes works.
Ah.
I guess that's fine if you're gonna point a camera into it anyway.
Yeah. We won't be super good at playing it, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, it's also not going to be the full experience because it's not 3D.
We need to get our hands on a developer version of the Virtual Boy. One of the rarest things.
Oh, man. You want to make a Virtual Boy game?
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you know, if you want. If you thought it would be really funny, you could make a Virtual Boy game.
There's so many games I want to make. I was thinking it would be fun. Well, today I was playing with Renpai with Oscar, and I was like, this is super easy. Like, even a child can do this. I could make a visual novel, no problem. I could I could shit that out in a week.
Oh yeah, he was able to use that.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna make something with him. I think that'll be fun. But you know, I was also thinking it'd be fun to make a Nintendo game at some point. It'd be fun to make a Playdate game. Have you ever seen that little handheld? There's like a handheld. It's developed by Panic, which is like a Portland-based company that makes an FTP program that I really liked when I used Mac. And now they make a video game console. It's like a little Game Boy. It's like that big, and it's got its gimmick is a crank. So all the games have like, oh, this looks awesome. Look how cute Link is. Oh, I love this. This rules.
Yeah, I had this game.
Yes, retirement homes filled with Skyrim grandmas doing Let's Plays. Absolutely. Let's play. It's going to be me. I mean, it's already kind of us. We're like settling into it right now.
Well, our grandma would teach us like card games. So I guess when you're a grandma, you'll be teaching card games and like Zelda 4 Swords or whatever.
Yeah. Games are a good teaching tool.
Well, yeah, like I also just realized like when you're old and if you're like living in a nursing home with other elderly people, you have so much time to like play Zelda Four Swords and Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
Exactly.
Stuff that you never thought you'd ever have time for.
Yeah. You're on fixed income and you know how to get ROMs, so every game ever is free.
Yeah.
Unless they've tamped that shit down by the time we're old, which might have happened.
They'll break our fingers.
Yeah, exactly. They'll do whatever it takes to keep us from pirating these games. So guys, I think we're gonna start tightening the show up a little bit. Joe and I are always scrambling to get this thing started on time. You'll notice we started a bit late tonight. It's a very busy little rush at the end of the day putting together the show. So I think we're gonna start the show about 15 minutes later now. That looks like Shantae over there. We're gonna start the show 15 minutes later, and we're gonna wrap things up 15 minutes earlier. We're gonna try this out. So we'll go till 10:45. I think Joe and I are at our freshest in the first 2 hours of the show, and it's like when it's like that advice about writing where it's like you like write the beginning of your book. You write like a bunch of pages about the beginning of your book and then just slice a whole bunch of them off, and that's the beginning of your book. I think we could stand to do something like that. Oh man, this art is so great.
Yeah, I forgot how good the art was.
Yeah, this rules. Man, this is what I'm talking about, how like a single 2D illustration can just feed you for so much of a game. I love this little band. No, all the joy and revelry. The HUD of a Game Boy game is so incredibly pleasing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's there the whole time. I imagine that saves on resources because it makes the game smaller.
Oh, yeah. It just looks so awesome. I love the part.
That is sorry.
Sorry.
That is the world of darkness I long for. Anyway, what were you saying?
Go on.
I'm going to let you finish. Go on. You may finish now.
I start talking and you're like, please finish. No, I was just going to say, I love the part of the show where we just sit here and look at a beautiful game.
Yeah.
Very lovely. Oh man, that looks so cool.
Yeah, you didn't play this, right?
No, I didn't. But now I'm kind of like, maybe this looks like a good one to just like lay in bed at the end of the night and get a few minutes in before I fall asleep and drop it on my face.
Oh yeah, I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my Game Boy is like the big one, so.
Just dropping 10 pounds on your face.
I guess things never changed. I still have the brick, but it's like a cool modded one that you got me that has a backlight.
Yeah, we got you a nice one. Oh, you called him bad.
Yeah, he's bad.
Noticed.
Yeah, like I guess it's been sort of a thing to just like use like each other's names.
Yes.
Like you would always make your King's Quest files Joe.
Yeah, I always, even today, sometimes I save them as Oscar now, but
yeah.
It's always just like the nearest boy.
But I didn't even play those games, and they were always Joe.
I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. It's just like I don't want to use my own name. It's like, you know, when you call something like when you call like a little machine like Mr. Coffee or something.
Yeah.
It's just like a little guy's name for your save file.
Mr. Ling. Yeah, well, Artie had names like Dorf. And like Feodor.
Yeah. Everybody's got their goofy little save names that I don't know. It embarrassed them less than their own name.
Well, he told me Dorf was from something. It was like some old like TV show.
Oh, I don't know. I thought Dorf was like Ganondorf.
No.
That's later than the era we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not totally 100% clear on the whole Ganondorf thing. I always thought it was just like when he's a human, he's Ganondorf.
Oh, I see. He's just got like some dorky name because he's more human. He's not just a pig.
Yeah, he like becomes a pig in the final boss now. And he has that voice. He's like,
Oh yeah, right. He's
dare
snooty.
You talk to me? Do you know who I am? I'm Ganondorf.
Right. You get all of that from
Oh yeah, he laughs at you like
I remember now. It's been a long time since I attempted that game.
Oh yeah, did we ever do Ocarina of Time on Thingus?
No. Well, did we? Maybe a while back. You guys have to play the new Zelda game on the stream where you're Zelda?
Oh yeah, there's a new Zelda game where you're Zelda.
What's it
for
called?
the Switch. It's called Something of Wisdom.
Dorf on the Diamond is a baseball game? I don't think that was it, but that's a potential lead.
Yeah. I got a seed. God, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, all right. I wrote something down on a piece of paper. I just wanted to tell you about this.
Yeah.
We were driving home from something the other day, and we saw an SUV with a multi-bike rack mounted on the back of the car, and there was only one bike on it, and it was a tiny child's pink basket bike that you definitely could have just thrown in the trunk. Just like, it was so small. It was just a little baby's bike, and it was the only one mounted on the rack there. I said to Mike, because we were really scratching our heads over this one. I said to Mike, the only explanation is that they went somewhere with 3 bikes, and then they dropped 2 of them off, and they didn't bother to take the 3rd one off. Is there any other explanation where that car isn't being driven by a complete psychopath?
I mean, there may be a huge argument behind this. Like, it's like, we're not throwing it back. We have 5 things for a bike.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. That was my I felt pretty consistently that there was some sort of exchange where a father yelled.
Yeah.
And insisted.
Like he bought it, he paid money for it, and yeah, we're using it.
We're using it.
I mean, was it dirty at all? That's a good reason if it was dirty.
No, it didn't look any way other than just like a regular ass bike that they took out of a garage and put on a car. Except it was tiny.
cute.
It was, oh man, that's so adorable. Oh my God, they're all little conures.
Aw.
That's so cute. They all have a little crest too. Oh, okay. All right. Dad Rock Enjoyer says, this is a very wholesome answer. Maybe the kid wanted her bike clipped up there. Kind of like when you serve a dog food in a human bowl. I mean, you do that because you don't know where the dog bowl is. But no, you might be onto something there. You might be onto something. Okay, well, but that's still an exchange where somebody yelled, right? Somebody threw a little fit here, right? Because it definitely took the parents twice as long. No, more than that. It took the parents a few minutes to strap that bike in. So the little girl must have really, really put up a fight to get that bike on the back.
Yeah, and she wanted to do it too. She's like, no, let me do it. It's like,
and
yeah, wanted
Angelica,
to feel.
Angelica's sweetie, princess.
Nah, that's okay, Uncle Stu. I'm not hungry anymore.
It was absolutely Angelica's bicycle.
I want a bike rack!
Mom is just in the passenger seat talking to Jonathan on the phone. They're going to the beach. Well, they were coming home from the beach this time, I'm pretty sure. So whatever went down had already long ago gone down.
So this wasn't a dad yelling. This was a little girl yelling.
Well, if we're going for the like slightly less menacing, I mean that's still pretty menacing that a little girl is in control of things like that. But maybe her siblings get their bikes up there all the time. It's not fair.
Maybe that bike has been up there for a really long time and like they never take it down. Like I've seen people leave children's bikes just outside at night. Like nobody steals them.
Yeah, nobody cares. It's true. But that's got like a little bit of a baby shoes never used vibe to it.
Yeah, it's their kid didn't die though. They just grew up and never used it.
And they're sad about it, so they just leave it there.
Or they just like haven't accepted reality that their child grew up.
Oh, that's rough. It could also be that the bike rack, it's one of those annoying bike racks that you need to like, you need to like elaborately take it off to open the door. So they didn't want to open the door to put the bike in there. That's kind of stupid too, though. Well, now that we've thoroughly explored that, do you want to tell me what Concord is? I have no idea. All right, here are the facts about Concord that I know. It lasted one day. I don't know anything else about Concord.
Yeah, me neither. All I know is that Concord was a game that was canceled after it was released because it was so bad or something. It was like they spent like $500 million on this game.
According to Blaisdell, 8 years in development.
Yeah, 8 years in development. Thank you. I just learned about this today and felt like this was the video game news of the week.
Absolutely. No, today and yesterday, people were going crazy about Concord.
Concord's bad fur day.
Well, maybe I'll let the chat. I'll let the chat chime in while
it's like cringe and woke is what I hear.
Cringe and woke. Okay.
Cringe and outdated.
Ah, I see. Well, all right. Gabby says it was a little like Fortnite. Boring, didn't stand out. It was more like Overwatch. All right, I'm gonna let the chat fill the board a little.
They deleted it because it was bad? I mean,
no, that's not making sense to me. Well, why is it cheaper for them to take the game off? Is it a service game where the server costs would be too expensive? I need more information. But in the meantime, I have a thought about Concord, okay?
Yeah.
All right. I remember a positively psychotic commercial. Is the Concord a Toyota car? Concord?
Concord Toyota car? I don't know.
All right. Some car company made a car called the Concord, right?
All right.
And I remember this commercial from like 20 years ago. Honda Concord. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to moderate in Blaisdell's line because they said kill a bitch. It's okay. We were talking about Chappelle earlier. You can say it. So anyway, it's a commercial I saw like 20 years ago as I was falling asleep at 3 a.m. And it was like mom driving in a Concorde, and there's like a little girl and a baby in the car, and the little girl is like, "Mommy, why did you call me Virginia?" or like something like that. And the mom's like, "Well, honey, we decided to, your father and I decided to name all of our children after the place they were conceived." I swear to God, this was the premise of the commercial. And then the little girl goes, "Then why is my sister's name Concord?" And the mom's like, Concord, Massachusetts, or like whatever the fuck, wherever there's a city called Concord. I didn't just dream this. I didn't just dream
this. There's no way this happened.
This commercial is real.
You teleported to another dimension. You definitely combined a real commercial with your dream and made something that doesn't exist.
I think it's 100% real.
All right, well, we're gonna have to come back to this one. We're gonna have to figure that out, and next time we'll talk about the verdict.
All right, I'm quite. People are saying that there's a meme like this, and then Timbalisto says they remember this.
Yeah, there's a meme I've seen like this.
Okay, I've never seen the meme. I just remember this commercial.
It's not of the commercial. It's just like a stock image of a dad and a son. It's like, why is my name, or why is my sister's name such and such?
Yeah.
It's like, why is my name, or the dad calls him by his name, and his name is like Skyrim or some shit. Something dad loves.
Look, it's not a very clever concept. I could see this being produced more than once, but just like the premise is so flimsy and so totally inappropriate for TV.
Yeah.
That I could not believe it.
Yeah, I don't believe this.
Just like there's like terrible, right? Like terrible. I believe it. I'm 100% right that that's the commercial. All right. Do we know anything else about Concord the game? Do we know why it was canceled? You said it was woke?
Well, I heard it was cringy.
It was cringe and woke.
Outdated and like it's
dated. Like the graphics were old.
Well, the game was started 8 years ago, so it's like a little dated in their like trying to appeal, I suppose. Their lingo.
Concord, you can fucking it. It looked like a discount Guardians of the Galaxy like the commercial looked like shitty Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I saw like a trailer for a few minutes. It looked like some Fortnite shit.
Yeah, I think it was like the tagline was, for all of life's little things, like I'm still talking about the car commercial. For all of life's you can fucking it. All right, Overwatch is already a shitty Overwatch. You found the commercial. Real, right? Is it exactly as I said it was? Yeah, why don't you, can you post links in the chat? Go, I won't open it, but for the sake of everyone else believing me, we'll show it to Joe later. Thank you. Oh, you posted it on Discord too. Thank you. But I don't understand. Okay, yes. Every game that's been in development for a long time looks like it's been in development, right? Is it that it's a AAA game and AAA games can't look outdated?
I guess. I don't know.
I don't understand. I guess I do understand people like making fun of it being almost a decade old, but why would that make the company took it down?
Yeah, Sony.
Like, well, like they can't have a bad game in their catalog?
Maybe not if it's like an online game. You say it's like a bad Overwatch?
Overwatch, yeah, right. So if it's like Overwatch, then it would be an online game.
Right.
So the game is like, it's too expensive to run, but like, if nobody wants to play it, then it won't be expensive to run at all.
Well...
Or I'm sure it doesn't break down that way.
Yeah, I feel like, you're talking about running the servers all the time for a game no one's playing.
Gabby suggests a tax break, a failure. The way Hollywood will occasionally kill a movie so they can report losses.
What do I name their baby?
Oh, is the baby going to live? Right, they wrote it off like a loss. Yeah, okay. So do you think then the Concord, the story that we're being sold about Concord, yeah, name it Concord, doesn't quite fit, but you guys will know. You'll know that this is where the place where the baby was conceived. So then they spun the idea that the game was cringe so that they could write it off. They could write off the loss. Do we think that's the conspiracy here? Did I get it?
Well, yeah, everything is the producers. It's like, you can make more money with a failure than a success.
You can actually make more money with a failure than a success. Except that Concord ends up being like secretly the best game ever, and like somebody, it's unplayable if it's taken down, right? You can't like use your local copy of it to play the game, right?
Everybody got their money back, so I suppose it's unplayable.
It came with DRM. Nobody has a permanent copy of it.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
No, they wanted this game to be successful. This is not a good thing. A lot of devs were pissed. There's no single player version, so you can't play it without being online. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy. Well, that's disappointing for the developers who spent I mean, I hope none of them worked on it for 8 years. That's a really big resume gap. Where your output is 0. That sucks for them. But, what's $1 billion to Sony?
Nah, they don't give a shit. I mean, yeah, like $1 billion of like bad ideas and executions of them. It's like no one will ever pay for any of this shit. I mean, literally, because nobody's going to ever buy this game.
No, it's not possible for anybody to buy it.
But there will be no consequences for making shitty decisions like this.
Not by anybody who helped to make the decisions. There might be a lot of consequences for the developers who now have to find other ways to pad out their resumes. Like,
yeah.
to work on years of canceled projects, that's very dispiriting for anybody who who wants to be happy about being part of this industry. And for anybody who wants to say that they spent their life doing something productive. Like, that sucks.
I mean, they did spend 8 years on it. Maybe they're gonna rework it into some new game.
Yeah, you think so?
I don't know. Maybe they'll rethink it and try to salvage whatever they, spent so much fucking money on.
Right. Well, sometimes a game comes out bad and then they finish it and then people say it's good, right?
Well, did that happen with Cyberpunk?
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of, Cyberpunk. It came out like 2 years too early or something, right?
Yeah.
And then they finished it up and people agree it's good now?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't. I guess that makes less noise than it's bad.
Right. I mean, people talk about Cyberpunk and I think there's a sequel in development, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
So it's good now? It's nice now, like Job? Michael, we're really nice now.
We're sorry.
Michael, I need a favor.
Cyberpunk is good now. Evidently.
Holy crap, SNL is good again.
I don't think that's true. All right, we're at 10:22 now, so we should start to wind it down. Anything else we want to bring up?
Any heroes?
Heroes and villains. Heroes and/or villains.
I would say Vert, who did the music for Shantae.
Yeah, no.
Really good.
That was excellent. That was excellent. That was a real good on purpose. I'm glad you showed me that.
Yeah.
It's just been fun to watch you play, like, competently play these games tonight.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm
okay.
doing terrible.
This looks like Gauntlet.
It does. It goes well with this song.
Yeah, totally.
Where's the sword? I've been playing for like half an hour. All right, I'm done.
You blew it, Link. You blew it, Bear.
There's so many.
Nice.
Like there's all of these too. Oh wait, some of them didn't come in, but others did.
Yeah.
What about this folder called hacks?
Nice. Blazedoll, yes, I loved your Perfect Ties review. Thank you for that. Blazedoll said the hardest
Metal Gear
puzzle
Solid.
was figuring out what's wrong with this idiot child. Give me a good chuckle.
Oh, was this real? This Metal Gear Solid?
Really? Is it like a port?
I guess so.
This is like the PlayStation game? That looks so sick, but also it's wrong.
Yeah. It was in the hacks folder, so it might be a hacked version of it.
Yeah, I have no idea if anybody has any intel on what the hell this is. All right, so yeah, definitely the people behind Shantae deserve some credit, and I'm excited to hear that they're making more.
Yeah, they're reviving one.
25 years later. Very cool. There was an official Metal Gear Solid port for Game Boy, so maybe this is it. But maybe there's something different about it. Villains this week. Well, I mean, I don't know if I'd call Sony villains for deleting Conrad from the internet. Conrad? I'm not going to correct that. Oh, that's cool. But I would say, in general, for playing with that amount of money and people, that's pretty villainous, wouldn't you say?
That is such like, it values people so little.
Yeah. Yeah. Video games are, they are this object of fascination for so many of us, including the people who throw their bodies at them to make them. And it is an unfortunate reality of the industry that many people struggle under bad work conditions, thanklessly, to make bad games that no one ever plays.
Yeah, that sucks so much.
It does.
I was thinking about like shovelware and like just like the mountains of games no one's ever gonna play, and I feel like the Wii had more than anything.
Really?
Maybe the PS2 also had like a decent amount of games that you'll never play.
Is it because the Wii was more inviting to developers than previous Nintendo consoles?
Yeah. You know, people were drawn in by the gimmicky, the motion controls and stuff. So, but like, yeah, like lots of people owned a Wii. So there were so many games for it. It was like the highest. It was the PS2 was the best selling. Then the Wii was the best selling.
I see. So we should really be checking out some of these games. Probably a lot of them disappeared when the Wii market left the earth, right?
Maybe, yeah.
There's probably a few good Dorcases out there saving them, though. Future Thingus heroes.
What, like people who turned their home into a Wii landfill with all the garbage?
Yeah, or the people who work in the few, you know, the proud archival spaces who are trying to preserve these games. You know, like the Smithsonian curator who helped bring Duke Nukem and the community that they summoned to help bring Duke Nukem Forever to a if not playable, then explorable state. That's pretty special, you know, especially when we talk about like what value games have when they do not fulfill short-term expectations from AAA to indie, you know, given the discussions we're having tonight. What value do games have long-term? I mean, I think an enormous amount of value. For one thing, they usually don't cost much or anything. So they are a beautiful creation that somebody with no money can play.
Yeah.
And they reveal to us so many things about, you know, technology and the time they were made and the individual, you know, quirks of the developers. They are documents of great significance, except that they are of no value to the industries that create and release them. So we are just constantly battling with the need to make short-term gains on these games instead of thinking about what they offer to us culturally or, you know, beyond our own careers and our own lives.
Yeah, they stop having that value, like, you know, pretty much after you buy them. No matter if the game is good or not, it's like the stores don't want them. It's just plastic.
Yeah.
Games and you know, now games are mostly just data. I mean, I think they should all be free. I mean, this, you know, this is all free.
Yeah. It's all free.
The people who made this RAR of all of these games, those are the archivalists.
Yeah. These are the heroes.
This was a recent addition, this pack.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, like it was like from 2024, this torrent. So it's like something someone put together recently.
Yeah, people are actively working on stuff like this. And
like, what are they gonna do? Kill me like these guys in Metal Gear? It's like no one would ever fucking steal this game. It's not stealing. You've abandoned it.
Yeah.
Everyone fucking abandoned every Game Boy Color game.
Right. Like, is it stealing when you take something out of a free box on the sidewalk?
This is like, they're trying to get us. Everyone's against us. They're trying to get us for, well, you know, they don't get you really, but it's still intimidating. They intimidate you into not taking the cookies out of the dumpster. It's the same shit as that.
The Nabisco turf wars.
Yeah, the Nabisco dumpster.
Yeah, but we know better. We know that those Nutter Butters haven't expired yet. They're still delicious. I'll stockpile my entire basement with them.
I mean, this isn't really as good as the real Metal Gear Solid, but it's still a good effort.
This is very complex for a Game Boy Color game.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially Metal Gear.
There is some real, like, you know, the coding of a you know, an absolute pro. Like on these games where like the technical limitations are so great and they do things that are beyond the scope of the console because they just know how. That's enormously special and I think being lost because people work on a game and then they're laid off from the studio.
Yeah.
You don't get all these, like, you know, generations of wisdom being passed down about how to make this stuff.
Damn it.
You basically just have individuals who are passionate making this stuff at home for no money. People who don't care if very few people ever play their game. They just want it to exist.
Yeah, and look how many exist. There's too many.
There's too many. You can never play them all. And people want to make more. People make more every second of every day. But, you know, every one of them wants to be the one that lands in your lap. And becomes some shit that you never forget. And because there are so many people playing games and more all the time, there's always a chance. You're gonna get a cross section of those people who are willing to give your game some time and let it change their fucking lives. I think it's worth it. You can't put a price on such things, but to communicate with another person in that way, why not use every spare minute you have to such an end? Yes, institutional knowledge decay is the term that I'm talking about. High turnover at a studio. Thank you. And hello, Wintarian. Welcome. We're actually about to call it a night, but thanks for jumping in at the very end. And
how many minutes do we have left?
We got 10 more minutes. We can make it real fun in here.
All right, let's do the thing we said we were gonna do.
All right. What did we say we were gonna do?
Oh, behave.
Oh yeah, Rockstar. Oh man, it's booting up. I thought at first that Austin Powers was waking from cryo sleep and we were seeing the data. We were seeing the readout. Oh no, wait, that is what's going on.
Well, wasn't this made for like the sequel? So I thought this is, oh my God.
All these like Windows jokes, computer jokes.
Wow.
Oh, you were, I appreciate that. Wintarian. I loved being at the fanfare, and I hope I said nothing but nice things. No, I loved the fanfare. I'm still thinking about it, and I so appreciate you having me. Not sure. Right, that's woke. This game is woke.
There's no yes.
Yeah, right. There should be yes, please. Are you guys kidding?
Wait, so is he Austin and I'm not Austin?
Yeah, I can't tell either. I love how much computery shit there is. And this is all...
I get to pick.
This is all UI. I came up with another Austin Powers girl the other day. Me and Mike were talking about Austin Powers for a long time, and I came up with a new name. What was it? I won't remember. Obviously. Oh, he loves them all.
I can only pick one.
How customizable is this? Right, you have mojo levels, obviously.
Oh my god, his mouth. What is this?
So,
Ow.
I was actually thinking a fun feature for this show. Mike and I were talking about this, and it would actually be good at this very moment. You know how, like, on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you could call a friend when you were in dire need of an answer? I was thinking maybe I could page Mike from downstairs, and then he could call in, and we could ask him something that we're trying to remember.
Sure.
I think that might be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I just have to do an enormous amount of technical preparation to make that one call per night happen.
Yeah, how would we do that?
Discord, maybe?
Yeah.
Just type into the chat. Come. I gotta say, the sense of humor behind this game is spot on.
Yeah, I'll take beef green. Put him in the corner. This is like the guy who sells cookies to you.
Oh my god. This is really not at all what I would expect, and it's really quite unique. I thought we were gonna be platforming with Austin. That's like a modern meme where they like reverse it and show it again.
This is so much funnier than that though.
Yes.
It's like, you can go on my computer and see my groovy stuff.
Yeah, no, this is fascinating. It's like another dimension of Austin Powers. Like, the character is so, like, I really feel that there should have been more Austin Powers stuff. Like I would love to make an Austin Powers comic. You know, like I feel like there should be more episodes of Austin Powers. It's such a fully realized character. And a game where you're seeing like some other dimension of like the way the inside of his mind works is so perfect.
Nice.
Let's plug and play, baby. Yeah.
What should I type?
Well, Oh, it's all the real ones. DIR, see what's inside. This is so interesting. It's like secret little haven. He's got pictures of all his ladies. MeNude.com. I love that there's config sys and autoexec bat, just real ones.
Yeah, like what would happen if I? Well, how would I use those? Just type them in.
Yeah, right. Just type in MeNude.com. Oh, they really make you work for a nude picture of Austin Powers.
Nude. Sorry.
Yeah, let's see if you can do it before 10:45. We have 4 minutes. I hope this works and you don't get in, like, it doesn't work, baby.
How come the other text thing let me go from the position of the last one?
Oh, you can't just type it in. All right. It's just for fun.
Yeah. How do I get out of here?
Ban incoming, yes. How do you get out? I don't know.
Exit.
Yeah, I guess so.
What's beep do?
Probably plays a beep sound. Maybe it goes.
That thing.
I love it. I love it. Everybody's
That's
favorite
great.
sound. The
love
sound
that
of
sound.
Austin Powers getting a phone call. That was worth typing in.
All right. Do you want to see the Dr. Evil game now?
Sure. All right. We'll call it a night after this. Oh, so this is the same game, but with
Yeah.
Dr. Evil's computer. Hell yeah. Good for these guys. My God, what a fun concept. Evil DOS. Here you. Hello. Do I have a dog on camera? Come here. Come here. Come here. She won't get on camera. She refuses. But she's right here. My friend, just off camera. Come here. Come here. I'll move the camera to you. Oh, there she is. Now she's a little too close. All right, Heidi, where are you? Where's your face? Let's get you on cam. She just wants me to pet her right here. I can't quite get her face on camera. I'm just, you can see me petting her.
Oh, Heidi.
Oh my God, she's a good girl. You wanna come over here? Hey. Come here. Come here. Let's see you. Let's see you. Hello. Hello. She just wants to bury her face in my hand. Hello, my darling. Heidi is now 16. I think I've mentioned that on the stream. My wonderful friend. My good dog. My clone. I shall call you Hench Clone. All right, Heidi.
Take good care of Mr. Bigglesworth. Do you think that the Meow Mix thing was like a paid product placement?
No, I think Mike Myers just really wanted to sing that song as Dr. Evil.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Oh man.
So I don't know if you ever played the GTA games, but
I've just watched you play them.
the radio stations are very funny. Like this, like they have like people doing like it's kind of like how the Onion has like they say stupid shit with a straight face. It was funny.
Yes.
It had a similar sense of humor to this.
Right, where it's just like you can't believe they had like an entire wing of the at the studio just developing an entire game inside the game where you could explore all the media.
Oh yeah. There's like a whole internet you could explore GTA that has jokes like this.
Yeah. No, this is awesome. I really want to sit down with this.
This, if you ever get a Game Boy camera printer,
Yes.
this would be a good one to print out
Yes, absolutely.
and frame.
Can you make it? You can't change the size, right?
I don't know. You could move it. I think you want me to make it small.
Yes.
I don't think it can get smaller.
No, it would. Can you tile him? Oh, he's already. All right, we should call it a night. Let's end it on a great image. Do we got one more Dr. Evil picture?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let me go. Let me go through some of the other images. Where was it? This. No.
It's just like Mike Myers' face is so funny that like if that's all you got, you would still be laughing.
Yeah. Look at all these different cursors they made.
Amazing. There's like a whole operating system.
There's sounds. the use of photos is really funny.
Yes.
It's like I don't know if there's that much to do in these games, but they maximize the amount of like graphics they could fit.
Absolutely. And they use it to great effect. It surprises you. What? We hear some sounds?
Oh yeah, there was a voice just now, wasn't there? Oh yeah, I wanted to see the other images.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're laughing just like him. Oh my god.
That's Thingus. Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.